So you want to create a Facebook page and set it up for success? Let's do this. The first thing you're going to need is a personal Facebook account because all Facebook business pages are built off of personal accounts. That way Facebook knows there's a real human being behind the page. Now, if you don't already have a personal Facebook account, go to www.facebook.com, click on Create New Account, and fill out the fields. Now, if you're a private type of person and you don't want to create a Facebook account because you're totally fine the way your social life is, I totally get it. And in that case, just fill out the bare minimum. You don't even need to upload a profile picture, so that way you stay fairly hidden. But please, please, please make sure you're not putting in any fake information about your personal account that's going to be tied to your business page. That's because if Facebook figures out that your account is fake, a lot of bad things can happen, including your fake personal account being shut down, meaning you won't have access to your business page. And I'm so sorry if I'm not starting in the most positive Sushi Sunshine? And I'm so sorry if I'm not starting off with the most positive vibe here, but if my job is to set you up for success with your Facebook page, one of the key things to be successful on Facebook is to be able to hold on to the page. Okay, let's take the first steps in creating an awesome page. So you have your personal profile and make sure you're logged in. And now you're going to go to the top right corner of your page and click on the 9 dots. And then to the right, you'll see there's a bar that says create, and then click on page about halfway down. And now we're on the next screen where some of the magic is going to happen. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I actually love setting up pages. So I'm not just going to show you where to click on things, but really how to optimize your page so you can attract customers and make this page worth your time. So for this video, we're going to create a Facebook page for a make-believe company called Corporate Cookies. And because this is a company I made up totally in my head and I want to be in good standing with Facebook, right before this video airs, I'm going to delete the page. So don't try looking for it afterwards. You'll only see it in this video. By the way, if you've also been thinking about setting up a company page on LinkedIn, I have a video demo about that too. I'll include a link in the description, and I use Corporate Cookies as the example. Okay, so let's optimize this from the top. And the first field is page name. And I recommend making this the name of your company or organization or how people would look you up in a Facebook search. Also keep in mind that your Facebook page can show up in a Google search, and the first word of your Facebook page name is the most important in the eyes of Google. So if you have some choices with your name, keep that in mind. Now next is category, and you can fill out up to 3 categories that describe the industry you're in. You're just going to start typing in what you think is going to work, and a drop-down menu will appear with a very finite selection of choices. It's very frustrating. Now my make-believe Corporate Cookies is a little hard to categorize. We make customized gift boxes for employee gifts and client gifts. So the only 2 categories that seem to fit for me kind of are bakery and food and beverage. And if I could do a 3rd category, I would totally do it. I'm going to put bakery first and then food and beverage because the first category you list is considered by Facebook as your main category, and it's going to be the only category that appears when your page shows up in a search result, like you can see here from one of Corporate Cookies' competitors in a search. And it's also the only category that's going to show up on your page itself. But I still recommend you add a 2nd category and a 3rd category because Facebook will see them, and that will help you show up in more searches. Okay, now for the description. And Facebook gives us a limit of 255 characters, so every single character counts. And by the way, that includes spaces. Also note that if you happen to show up in a Facebook search, only the first 150 to 160 characters show up on desktop, like you'll see here in search results for another one of Corporate Cookies' competitors. And on mobile, it's even worse. It's like the first 40 or 50 characters. I had to kind of count it manually to figure it out. Your description can also be somewhat cut off with like a ... more on the page itself, at least on desktop. So the key is make sure the most important words of your description are in the very beginning. I cannot emphasize this enough. Actually, all of your marketing will be stronger when you put the most important information at the top. Okay, so here's what I'll say for Corporate Cookies. Say thank you to your clients and employees with a beautiful box of handcrafted delectable cookies with a cookie emoji. Couldn't resist. Each box is customized with your logo and messaging. Contact us today for a gift that's sure to delight. Now in the top right here, you can toggle between the desktop and mobile icons to see how your page looks on both formats so far. But I will tell you that this preview is not accurate. It's going to show your entire description, but I promise you some of it's going to get caught off at least on desktop. But if you like toggling back and forth between icons because it's fun, and I don't know, sometimes I find it fun, go for it. So our next step is to add images and do a whole lot more optimization. So let's click on Create Page and let's see what's on the other side. Okay, so we're on the next screen, and the two most important things we can do right now are work on the cover photo up here and the profile picture just below it. Let's go ahead and start with the profile picture. Now, most likely this profile picture is going to be your company logo, but if you don't have a logo yet, consider an image that represents what you do. Like for instance, I was working with a florist who didn't have a logo yet, so we just used a bouquet of flowers as the picture instead. And believe it or not, in some cases, even if you have a logo, it might not be the best choice. If your business is 100% tied to your personal brand, like you're a realtor or you're a life coach, then you might want to strongly consider putting your headshot here. Just remember that as small as the image is up here on the top of your page, it's going to be teeny tiny everywhere else on Facebook. So don't go for subtleties in this image, go for simple and bold. So definitely avoid taglines or any other fine print with a logo because it's just going to be indistinguishable and it's just going to clutter things up. So let's add this image. We're going to click on the camera icon, then edit profile picture and upload photo. Now the minimum size for your image is 180 by 180 pixels, but larger is totally fine. I mean, long story short, you want the image to be nice and clear. You'll see that Facebook allows you to zoom in and zoom out and even drag it around if you want to, so you can fit your image nicely in the circle and make sure everything from your image shows. And you can also add a description up here, and I'll go ahead and just add something simple. And then you press save. Now let's go ahead and do the cover photo, and most likely the cover photo is going to be the first thing that people notice when they visit your page, and first impressions count, so we want to knock people's socks off. And the best way for me to describe to you what to put in the cover photo is to describe what you shouldn't put in it. First, don't put your logo in the main cover photo area for the main reason that your logo is most likely in the profile picture. But also a logo, no matter how beautiful it is not the thing that gets people to buy from you, or at least start a conversation to potentially buy from you. People are going to buy from you because they can visualize and understand the value that you deliver with what you sell. So we need a cover photo that helps people visualize the happy result that they're going to get from doing business with you. For instance, let's say you're a mortgage broker, then an image you might want to use is a picture of a dream home because you help people's dreams come true, at least when it comes to housing. Okay, the next thing you want to avoid in the cover photo area is text. Either just have a few words, or better yet, don't have any words at all. I would be like thrilled for you if you had no words in your cover photo area. There are going to be words everywhere else on the page. So let's use this opportunity to use the cover photo to tap into people's visual cortex, which by the way, is right here. You also want to avoid collages. It's always better to have a single striking image. And I know that's hard for some of us who have businesses where we have multiple products that we sell or multiple services and we want to portray all of them. But really, the more we show, the less is processed up here. Everyone's brains, no matter how smart we are, prefer simple things. So if you do have multiple products or services every month or every quarter, go ahead and switch up your cover photo to something else. And that way over time you show variety. So let's click on the edit button in the bottom right corner of this cover photo area, and you'll see you have some options. If you do choose from photos, that's where you're drawing from photos that you've already posted on your page, which you haven't done yet, so that's not really a viable option. As for create slideshow, yes, this would be a way to solve the problem where you can show multiple images of your different products and services, but I don't think it's the best option for two reasons. First of all, you're asking people to exert themselves by manually clicking to see the next photo, and I just promise you people are just too busy to do that. And the second reason is that simplicity always rules in marketing, and if you've watched many of my other videos, you've seen that I talk about this over and over again. I can't say it enough. Okay, so we're gonna click on upload photo. And the recommended image size here is 820 by 360 pixels. And that's because your image is gonna show up differently on Facebook and mobile. And different areas are gonna get cut off. Now here is a totally awesome diagram that I found on snappa.com so you can visualize this. You wanna keep the most important stuff of your cover photo in the middle here in the white area. This is the safe zone. This is the part of your image that will show on both desktop and mobile. So here's the cover photo here that I'm putting for corporate cookies, and you can drag to position it better if you want to, and then click on Save Changes. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is create a username. And the username is super helpful because you can print it on business cards and include it in other marketing materials so people can easily find you on Facebook. Now, there are lots of businesses on Facebook that have very similar names, which makes it a little harder for people to find them in a regular search. But each username on Facebook has to be unique. So if you give people your username, people can easily find you. Also, once you have your username, your URL up here will just have facebook.com/your-username without all these messy numbers at the end like you see right now. So it's gonna be a lot cleaner and simpler. You know I love simplicity. Okay, so let's give this a go. And it turns out no one has used corporate cookies yet, so I'm in luck. And by the way, there is a 50 character limit with usernames, but I do recommend keeping your username as short as possible so it's easier for people to type it. Okay, so click on create username and then click done. And now you'll see your username here up on the main page. Okay, now we're going to create a call to action button, which is this button right here. And this button is going to increase the chances that people take action on your page, which is what we want people to do. So click on add a button and you'll see lots of choices here. So just click on the one that makes sense for your business. Now for corporate cookies, I'm going to choose send message because I want to have a conversation with my make-believe customers. I also do find that send message works really well for my real life clients because ultimately my clients want to have a conversation with their customers too. And by the way, if you want to take your messaging to the next level beyond what your competitors are doing, check this out. This is where you can add frequently asked questions, and these frequently asked questions show up in the messaging chat box. So they're like suggestions for your customers in terms of things they might want to ask. And when they click on it, they get the automated response. It's a way to kind of streamline things, and it looks really professional. And by the way, most people don't customize this, so you will totally stand out. Okay, so let's do this now for corporate cookies. And I think a frequently asked question would be, how do I order customized cookie gift boxes? And here's my automated response that I came up with. And by the way, that is my phone number, but I totally made up the email address so I could have a corporate cookies domain because I just thought it would look better. And by the way, you can do more frequently asked questions than that. I just wanted to show you one to get you started. And if you want to see how your page and the messaging you just set up look to an outsider, what you do is you click over here and select your personal profile. Your page is going to reload, and now you can see it from the visitor standpoint. So let's see how the FAQs turned out. We're going to click on send message, and I'll click the question that I came up with, and here's the answer. And by the way, there's another spot in this Facebook page setup where you can customize your messaging even more, and you're going to love it, so just keep on watching. You can also customize which tabs appear here in the navigation bar for your visitors and which tabs are relegated more to the more area right here. So click on more and then edit tabs. Now first at the very top, click on templates because that's where Facebook will recommend which tabs they think you should have based on your business. Now right now I have a standard current template, but let's just look at the other options. Yeah, and even after looking at the options, I'm just going to keep it at standard. But your business might be different. Now here's the really cool part of the tabs section. Some tabs you can toggle on and off depending on if you want them to show on your page. And you can also reorder the tabs by clicking on the 6 dots next to the items and dragging them around. Facebook typically shows the first 3 or 4 tabs in your page's navigation bar and the rest go under more, so you can be picky on what your page visitors see first. Okay, so there's even more cool stuff to show you that's going to make your page even stronger, and it's in an area that I call the magic sidebar. By the way, that's my term, not Facebook's, just to be clear. Now there are going to be a million things here, so I'm just going to narrow it down to what I believe are the most important things you should look at now. Okay, so let's start from the top, which is Meta Business Suite. And under that, you'll see your inbox. And this is where you can view and manage your messages coming from people who visit both your Facebook page and Instagram account if you have an Instagram professional account and you have it linked to your Facebook page. And I'm going to show you how to link Facebook and Instagram when we get to that section. And I'll tell you what, being able to handle both your Facebook and Instagram messaging in one spot can really save you a lot of time. And you'll see I already have a message from me. Yay! And that's when I did those frequently asked questions. So yay for me. Okay, so let's move on. And next is Planner. And this is where you can create and schedule out your posts, stories, and ads, and then see how they're all scheduled in this handy calendar. And you'll also be able to see analytics from all your content once it's published. Now next is publishing tools, which is very similar to Planner. It's just in a different format, and I wish Facebook would just kind of merge the two. And by the way, you might have already noticed that you don't have to use Publisher or Planner to post something on Facebook. You can do it directly on the main part of your page. But I will tell you, if you do that, you're not going to have as many publishing options, and you won't be able to schedule out the post in advance. And one huge time saver for you is going to be when you write multiple posts at one time, just kind of in one sitting, and then just have them scheduled out to automatically go out when you want them to go out while you live the rest of your life. And by the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Brooke, and I'm all about creating a small business social media program that not only gets results, but is easy and fun to run. Okay, so let's keep on going. Now here's business apps where you can connect Facebook to different apps to make your page more robust, like scheduling apps or apps for making reservations, etc., etc. I think this is more of an advanced feature, so let's keep on going. And here's the home button, which is where we are right now on the right-hand side, so enough said for that. Now next is the newsfeed, which is a really interesting spot, but most people overlook it completely. Now at the top, here's where you can create more posts, but what's even more interesting is underneath where it says suggested for you. And this is where Facebook is recommending pages for your business to follow. And if you follow them, not only is it an act of kindness, but there's a chance that they'll follow you back. Now, I just started liking these pages now, but if I were to go back to the newsfeed section later, I would start seeing their posts and I'd be able to interact as my company page. Okay, so let's skip down to Ad Center, and this is an area where you're going to spend a lot of time. Maybe not today, but in general. It's going to get you in front of a lot more customers a lot more quickly than just doing everything organically. And if you compare the costs of Facebook ads compared to other forms of advertising out there in the marketing world, Facebook advertising is pretty cost effective. Now, I'm not going to go through every single advertising option in this video because otherwise this video would be like 10 hours, but let me show you the one thing you're going to want to get started with when you're ready. You're going to click on create ad, and then once you start posting stuff to your page in general, you're going to see a boost post button right here. So let me actually show you what it looks like on the Delaware ShoutOut side. Okay, that's a whole lot better. And boosting a post is where you take a post you've already written and you give Facebook money to show it to a more targeted audience and a whole lot more of them. And I have a whole tutorial on how to boost posts the right way so you get the most for your money, and I'll include a link in the description. Okay, so let's go back to the magic sidebar, and we're going to skip down to notifications. Notifications is pretty straightforward. Now, when people like, comment, or share your content, or they tag you in something, you're going to be notified of everything here. Think of the notification section as your inbox that we saw earlier, but on steroids. Okay, insights, this is big. This is where you get your analytics. But I don't want you to drive yourself crazy by going here every single day, or even every other day, or every week, or not even every month. You're not going to have enough data to make good decisions from until you have maybe 3 months worth of posts or 6 months worth of posts. It depends on how frequently you post. And while Facebook does provide beautiful charts and graphs in this insight section, if you really want to take your analytics to the next level and just totally geek out on something, click on export data here on the overview page of insights. And the words export data are teeny tiny and most people miss this. And you'll be able to export a beautiful Excel spreadsheet that you could spend years looking at if you want to. Now let's skip down to edit page info, and I strongly recommend you spend some time here during the page setup because there's some little gems in here. You'll see what you've already filled out along with a bunch of fields that could be really helpful. Now some fields are obvious, like adding your business's phone number and email address and website, and remember that my phone number is real but nothing else is. Now for the location, if you have a brick and mortar location, definitely put your address there, but even if you're a home-based business, I recommend putting at least your city and zip code because it might be able to help you show up in more Facebook searches. This is just a hypothesis, but I feel pretty confident about it. And you can add additional location details here. You can add if you have a certain service area, and you can add your business hours here, and I'll add some hours here for corporate cookies customer service line. And under more, pay special attention to additional information, as whatever you put here will be right underneath your description on your page. So you want additional information to build off of the description and not repeat it. So here's the new information I'll add in additional information for corporate cookies. We offer traditional cookie varieties and are happy to accommodate special diets, gluten-free, vegan, and more. Specialties, and then I list a bunch of specialties. Corporate gifts, client gifts, employee recognition, promotional gifts. And one of the reasons I added all those specialties so the page can show up in more searches. And just so you can see it, here's how the description and additional information look as they're seen together from an outsider standpoint. By the way, do you have a favorite cookie? Let me know in the comments. Mine totally, hands down, is chocolate chip. Okay, back to the editing area. And here you can add a price range, and I'm gonna choose unspecified since all our work is custom, and you can choose your currency here. And here you can add your other social media accounts, which I totally recommend you do. And you'll see there's a lot you can add. Now, Corporate Cookies doesn't have any other social media accounts right now. I had deleted the LinkedIn company page after doing that video demo, but if you have any, go ahead and link it. Now, the last area I want to show you in the magic sidebar is settings, and there's a lot going on here, and I'm just gonna highlight a few of the spots. Now, general is where you're going to have your overall page settings. If you ever want to delete your page or merge it with another, you're going to take care of it here in general. Now, messaging we already touched on with the frequently asked questions, but there's one more thing I want to show you here that's really cool, and that's having a customized greeting when someone clicks and opens your chat box. So scroll down to starting a message or conversation, toggle it to on, and click on change. And I'll change this part, which has really boring default text, to say, "Hi, name. We're here to create customized gift boxes of delectable cookies that your clients and employees will love." Emojis. Let's talk. And while it says Brooke Miles here, it'll obviously change to the visitor's name. Facebook is just giving an example of what it's going to look like. So let's skip down to page roles, and this is where you can add extra admins and editors and other people to your page so they can help you with parts of it. And I strongly recommend that you give a few trusted team members access to the page. And again, you can choose the permissions level, because if only one person has access to the page and they skip town, it's going to be really hard for anyone else to have access to the page. I've seen this happen way too many times, so I just want to tell you now. Now, I also want to call your attention to people and other pages. On rare occasion, you're going to have someone continuously misbehave on your page. They keep on harassing you on your page, and no matter how diplomatic you are, they just won't stop. You can ban them from the page, and you'll do it here. Okay, let's skip down to the Instagram section. And this is where you can connect your Instagram account to your Facebook business page so you can manage it all in one spot, and it makes things a whole lot easier. Now, before Facebook allows you to link your Instagram account has to be a professional account. And if you haven't done that already, it's a really easy switch, and you'll find it under settings directly in Instagram. Now, once you've set up your business page, you might be tempted to just start inviting everyone to like it, but I recommend that you wait until you have about 4 or 5 posts on your page first so people can see the value of your page. They're going to be much more likely to like the page if they see that first. Now, if you're not 100% sure what to post or how to organize your content in an easy way, check out this video in the top right corner. I'm going to show you how to create the easiest content calendar ever. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.